Promoter Lay, that was Beck with The New Pollution. I'm still here hanging out with the guys from James. I'm here with Tim, Jim, Saul, and Adrian. Let's talk about the making of Whiplash. Did this record get it started in Woodstock? That's where you were doing some recording, actually, or some writing?
The first seeds were at Woodstock. It's hard to pin it down because we took 3 years very casually working on it and then only focused in the last couple of months with Stephen Hague. So there was one section at Woodstock, there was one bit with Brian Eno for a while, a few weeks. Then there was a lot of work done in the drummer's kitchen. They set up a studio in his back room. And then the last bit was last year, for a couple of months, focused with Stephen Hague.
Right.
So it's hard to say how long it took because I was doing the Blue and the Bad Angel record at the same time, coming back from America, working on it. And we needed a break, so we were making sure we got it as well.
Right, exactly. And did you feel good about working with Stephen Hague? I mean,
yeah, it's amazing. I mean, to work with Stephen Hague and Brian Eno on the same record.
Right.
And when we got Stephen in, we said, but we'd like to work with Brian Eno. We thought, he'd have a big ego about that. And he was great. Brian was great.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It's almost like two extremes, Brian's more experimental side, Stephen's a kind of meticulous, methodical pop producer.
Right, he's worked with Pet Shop Boys and so many other bands.
New Order.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's see if we can put them together.
Because we knew as well, if we made an album just with Brian, we'd just go off on some mad trip, you know what I mean? Like some crazy musical journey where we end up... Because I think it comes very naturally to us to write, very simple pop songs, but also there's this other side to us, which is, I suppose... it's on this album. Wah Wah is the best example of it as a whole record, really, where we can get really weird, Can we start to sound like some English version of Can or something on acid. So we knew we couldn't afford to make another record like Wah Wah just at this point, even if it was more focused than that.
Right.
So that's where Hague came in,
Pull it together,
Yeah, tight.
Yeah.
Big whip on us.
120 minutes will return in just a bit, with more from James, including an older video there, so don't go anywhere. Matt Pinfield, welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm here with James. For you, do you feel in your lyric writing, is that something that you go into feeling like, you like to write from that point of view where, you want to be a friend to the people that are reading and listening to it?
It's not that conscious. When I'm writing a lyric, I don't know what I'm writing most of the time. To me, it's like I have, I'll start making up the sounds and the verses and the chorus with the music, and then I'll just start writing it, and you just let it come out. And sometimes you've written something, you haven't got a clue what you've written or why you've written it. A lot of the times it seems like advice to me as much as anybody else, and kind of messages or whatever. And you end up writing there's some strange stuff on this new record. There's one song that we improvised twice, and I wrote a lyric. And it was clearly about somebody walking off into the mountains, into the snow mountains, to lie down to die. And 2 weeks before we got to record it, my best friend's mentor walked off into his favourite walk on the snow mountains and lay down and died, and committed suicide in that way. And you just write, and it's almost like you tune into things. That's what it feels like to me. Many times, there's a song on this record called Go to the Bank, which we did improvise the lyric in one setting, which I never usually do it in one take, like a really complicated lyric, which ends up being about robbing a bank. And I don't know where the hell that came from. But you can see it fits the song, it fits the sound. That's why I like Beck, is really cool, because the lyrics, on one sense, don't make any sense, but they fit the music, they fit the world that he's created. And that's what I kind of do with the lyrics. So I don't intend to write for a certain aim. I don't sit down and say I'm going to write a song about this or that, protest, Greenpeace, whatever.
Right.
It just comes out that way. and then you go, oh, look what I've written. And sometimes you think, oh God, I'm going to get in trouble with this one. You know, you look at it, you think, this is going to be embarrassing, you know, backing up in public. But I've written it, and it's the right one for the song, so it has to stay.
Right. And then you probably look at it a few days later and say, oh, it actually does sound good to me. Makes more sense.
Definitely.
You know, so you're going to be touring right now for a while?
We're touring in Britain when we get back for the first time in 4.5 years, which is amazing. It's like, because we were huge in Britain last time we played, it was like 30,000 gigs, and, you know, and...
30,000 gigs?
Well, at least that.
Peter, you owe us some back pay, I tell you.
30,000 people.
One person at each
gig, yeah. It's great.
It was cool. And then we did some warm-up gigs in England, and didn't know whether people would be interested in us anymore. And they were mad. The concerts were completely crazy in Bedlam, and the single went in the top 10 the first week. So we're going to go back to England now and give them some of us, because we haven't been there for years. And then we're coming to America in the end of April.
Yeah. Start on the West Coast.
6-week tour.
Right.
Do the whole thing. Try and get through the Midwest, you know.
Yeah.
In one piece.
Exactly.
And then
Without losing too many members.
Right.
and land over here.
All right. Well, good luck with everything. I want to thank you for coming by. And people, you should know their new album is out. It's called Whiplash. Go up and pick it up. And if you haven't already, check out some of their past albums, like 7. The one that's simply self-titled James, which was called Gold Mother for a while. Laid. And Wawa, too. You can find it still in America here, by the way.
You can.
We're going to show the video for Born to Frustration, going back to the 7 album. I want to thank you guys again for coming by. Here's James, 120 Minutes.
Thanks.